What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. This is episode number 120, and we start today's episode off with a U-Squad monthly report and also a look at the squad report as well, as we've now entered November. Now, just before we get straight into the episode, I want to say this episode should be up at 3 p.m. UK time on the 20th of May, and yesterday my career mode would have finished, would have put the last episode up. There's going to be a series finale for that series up later on tonight, and I really hope you guys enjoy that. Even if you're not a fan of that series and you've just been watching this one, I really hope you check it out regardless. It took an awful long time to make, and it should be up at 6 p.m. UK time tonight. Also, as well, because that series is now finished, my new career mode series is going to be beginning next Saturday morning at 9 a.m. UK time, and in the meantime, between then and now, I will be uploading Club and Country, My Player and Football Manager, and the 3 p.m. slot, which was usually always career mode, will now be split between My Player and Club and Country, and FM I should hopefully get 2 or 3 episodes up between now and then, and there you go. That's just a real brief look at the schedule for the videos coming up before we start the new series, which is that career mode with Torino on the 30th of May at 9 a.m. UK time. Anyways, you can see the league table here, 11 games in, 10 wins for Racing Santander and only 1 draw so far, 0 defeats. Our Champions League group, 3 games played, 2 wins and 1 draw as well, with 7 points, top of the table. We have had an undefeated start. There's only been 2 games in all competitions this year other than the Super Cup España at the start of the season, which we failed to win. It's been an absolutely awesome beginning to this season, and you know, as I mentioned in the upload schedule here, this series of course hasn't had as much interest as I've been hoping it will get, but I'm really hopeful now we're starting to become a bit more dominant. We're not exactly a dominant side in Spain or Europe, but we're a lot better than we were. I mean, when you think about how this squad started a few years ago and a few seasons ago, now to look at our squad right now, as you can see the first 11 I picked for this Real Betis game, it's just absolutely fantastic. And you know, I really hope that as we start to upload these videos at 3 p.m. UK time during this upcoming week and the next one as well, hopefully it will get a bit more interest as you guys start to get a bit more immersed in the series. Still, we do take on Betis for the first game of today's episode here away from home, and the first chance did fall to Betis. That shot was well blocked by Borja Lopez though. However, there was an injury, and Concha, the only Racing Santander player that has stayed throughout the entire series, is injured, has to get forced off. Isco comes on, and that's a huge shame because Concha doesn't play too many minutes in this Racing Santander team. He's never developed, sadly, which is a real shame, but that's just the potential problems you can get in this game sometimes. But Concha getting a rare start in this game, gets injured just 17 minutes in, and what a shame that is, as he's going to join Carvajal currently in the treatment room. From the corner, David De Gea punches the ball away, or tries to punch the ball away, sort of patted it away. Regardless, we went on the break with Jesse Rodriguez down the right-hand side, but he was denied by a superb stop by Fernando Pacheco, the goalkeeper we sold to Real Betis in the summer. So still goalless from the corner, it's crossed in. Borja Lopez wins the header, but he can't keep it down, and it goes behind for a goal kick. So still 0-0. In the 31st minute, though, another good chance for us here as Rodriguez goes down the right-hand side, takes it around Martinez, a quick little fake shot, crosses the ball into the centre. Isco goes for the header. It's not really dealt with. Oliver Torres picks it up, gives it to young Hanalise, but his shot goes just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. So still 0-0 in this game, but 3 minutes later, a good chance for Real Betis. They go down the left-hand side, finds Javi Torres. Torres takes around Carlos Blanco, crosses the ball in, and in the centre, it's headed in past David De Gea, and Real Betis take the lead. And it's a real shame as well, because De Gea was our big money signing in the summer. He's had a pretty decent start to the season, done pretty well in some games, but I really think he should have saved this one. The cross comes in, the header is won. It's pretty central. Yes, there's some power behind the header from Marco Jurashin, but I really think he should have saved that De Gea. He didn't, and it's 1-0 to Real Betis, and that was how the score ended at the first half. And in the second half, 5 minutes after the restart here, Betis could have made it 2-0. This shot going just into the side netting and behind for a goal kick. So still 1-0 to Real Betis. In the 64th minute, Rodriguez crosses in this corner, and a header is won, but it's cleared off the line. So still 1-0, and it wasn't a game where, you know, we were dominant in exactly, you know, despite how good start to the season. It was a game which we really struggled, to be honest. We pushed loads of bodies forward. Betis went looking for the kill here. This is a good stop by David De Gea, though, to keep it at 1-0. I was struggling to get ourselves back in the game, but in the 85th minute, we got a corner here. Rodriguez crosses the ball in. Again, we win the header, but Carlos Blanco puts it way off target and behind for a goal kick. And as the game was coming to its close in the 90th minute, it looked as though for all the world we were going to have our first defeat of the season. But as Isco finds Jesse Rodriguez here, he takes it around Martinez with a heel-to-heel flick. Martinez is playing catch-up. He lunges in with a slide tackle, takes down Rodriguez, and you know, I don't know how many penalties we've already won this season. I swear we're already into double figures. It's just ludicrous. But we win another one here, and yes, I know sometimes you get dodgy penalty decisions and we're really relieved about them, but you can't really complain about about that one. Martinez goes for ground. There's contact with Rodriguez. There's enough to bring him down, and the referee calls it right. So penalty to Racing Santander. Rodriguez is going to stand up and take it, and he also scores as well. Pacheco goes the right way, but thankfully for us, our former goalkeeper isn't going to make me regret selling him. He can't keep it out, and it's BETIS 1, Racing Santander 1. So Rodriguez with another goal. This guy looks set for his best season ever in terms of goals. 11 goals already, but I think at least half of those have probably been penalties. But even so, it's Real 3-1, Racing Santander 1, and that is how the game finishes as well. So we get bailed out of a 90th minute penalty, and it's funny, but that's exactly what happened in the last game as well against Real Valladolid. We got ourselves a 90th minute penalty, and we scored it. That was to win the game. This one was to draw it. But even so, we get ourselves the result we need. Really to keep making sure we haven't lost a game this season, and a pretty relieving result all round, to be honest. But following that, we offered contracts to Grimaldo and Carlos Blanco. Both of those players, well, Grimaldo's been put on the transfer list by the board, so's Blanco now, and we don't want to see either of those players leave, so hopefully they'll accept those contracts, and they're both first 11 players. Blanco's probably like the cult hero of this series, even though there isn't really one indefinitely. Blanco is our captain. He's been awesome. He's the first player to ever get called up for Spain. It was a really cheap signing for us. He's been with us almost every season, so Blanco hopefully will sign a new contract, so will Grimaldo, and we'll keep 2 of our back four happy. Still, we take on Galatasaray for the second of 3 games in today's episode here in the Champions League group stage. Of course, 3 games in, top of the group with 7 points. So coming to this game, hoping for another win, and the first chance would fall to us in the 15th minute as Isco gets on the ball here and fake shots around his man. Plays it inside towards Christian Portu. Portu turns the last defender and shoots, but it's a really good save with the goalkeeper and turn behind for a corner. So still 0-0, good save there as the Galatasaray goalkeeper keeps it goalless. And from the corner, Moy Gomez crosses the ball in, looks for Borja Lopez. He wins the header, but it goes onto the roof of the net and behind for a goal kick. So still 0-0 in this game, and to be honest, those were the only 2 chances in the first half. We had to wait until just, well, almost the hour mark here for another chance, and it came to Galatasaray. They went down the left-hand side and took a shot, but it went into the side netting and behind for a goal kick. So still 0-0. 6 minutes later, Galatasaray had another good chance here as they worked their way inside the area with Amrabat getting on the ball. Eventually turns Hector Bellerin and takes a shot, and it hits the post, but thankfully for us, Wesley Sneijder should have turned in the rebound, but instead can't keep a shot down and puts the ball over the bar and into the stand. So a big miss by Sneijder there, and it's still goalless. And the final chance fell here 11 minutes before the end. Perez's shot was well saved with the goalkeeper, and then Roy Herranz can't even get the ball out for a goal kick with that shot. It goes all the way out for a throw in, and it was how the game would finish as well. Racing Santander 0, Galatasaray 0, which does mean that going into the penultimate group stage game of the season in the Champions League, as Ajax got beat by Chelsea, if we get just 1 point in that game against Chelsea at El Sardinero, which is the penultimate game of the season in the group stage, then we will qualify for the knockout stages guaranteed. Most likely going to finish in second place, but even so, like it's still not good knowing that we could have won that game and guaranteed it with 2 games to spare. Still, following that, we saw that Grimaldo and Carlos Blanco both accepted their contract, which is fantastic. Grimaldo declined his first contract, said he didn't know if he was going to stay or not. I think we might have given him like a five grand or possibly 10 grand a week increase, but he said he's going to sign now. He's going to stay. That's great, because he and Carlos Blanco are 2 really important members of our first team at the back. They're part of the reason why our defense is usually so solid, why we keep so many clean sheets. So big signings for those, big contract signings, I guess, and I'm really relieved about that. But in the 14th minute of the third and final game of today's episode here against Almeria, we do get another injury. It's our 3rd of the season. Roy Herranz has to get taken off. Barrios comes on, and that's a real shame as well. He collided with the Almeria player, goes taken down, and we'll see in the next episode how serious that's going to be. But hopefully it's not a serious injury, even though he's a backup defender. Still in the 18th minute here, Almeria give the ball away at the back, and as Oliver Torres wins the ball, it comes to Morata. He crosses the ball into the centre. Isco wins the header, puts it past Julian, and makes it Racing 1, Almeria 0. So 1 goal up in this game, just 19.5 minutes in. Isco with the goal. He arrived on a pre-contract. We signed him in January of last season on a pre-contract to come in this season, and he's had a really good start to the season as well. He's really threatening in that attacking midfield position. Torres has been dropped to play in a holding midfield position now, and I'm pretty pleased about that tactical alteration, because Isco is a real handful for opposition defenders. And in the 41st minute, we also had a good chance to make it 2-0. Rodriguez runs forward and shoots after a really nice run, but Julian makes a really good save and turns it behind for a corner. So good stop there by the Almeria goalkeeper, and it was still 1-0. From the corner, Rodriguez crosses the ball in. Isco wins the header, but it goes, well, way off target and behind for a goal kick. So still Racing 1, Almeria 0 going into the break. And 7 minutes after the restart, Almeria had a good chance to equalise as Morales goes down the right-hand side, takes it round Barrios, puts in a brilliant cross to Mina, but what a big miss that is, as he ends up hitting the post from about 4 yards out there with a free volley. So a massive, massive miss, and it was still 1-0. And from that, Almeria get the ball back, but they give it away. Morata wins the challenge after the first challenge was won by Paco Candela, I think it was. He runs clear 1-on-1, great chance to make it 2-0, and he does as well. So Morata gets the goal, makes it Racing 2, Almeria 0. Rodriguez has had a great start to the season, so has Morata, and it is Racing 2, Almeria 0. So brilliant chance here for Morata as he goes through 1-on-1, and he's not going to miss. His 8th goal of the season in La Liga so far, Racing 2, Almeria 0. And to think just a couple of minutes ago, Almeria thought they were going to get the equaliser. Now they are 2 goals down, and surely the game is beyond them. But in the 73rd minute, here is Correa. Amado comes off the bench. He goes through the centre and finds Depe. Depe on the board, a rare starter for us, plays it back towards Barrios, who came off the bench for the injured Roy Herranz. He keeps holding the ball, passing the ball around pretty nicely. He seeks out Oliver Torres. Torres plays it out wide towards Garcia, also off the bench. Fake shots around Quinty, goes down the right-hand side, drills in a cross, picks out Isco, and Isco gets his 2nd goal of the game and makes it Racing 3, Almeria 0. So we're on course for another 3 points in La Liga. Isco with the goal. And right now, I really don't want to jinx this. I really don't want to sound too arrogant and too cocky, but the start to this season we've made absolutely fantastic, and it's going to take a serious collapse if we are going to be caught up already, because we are looking like we can just run away with this right now, because we just keep on getting the wins. And even when we don't, against Betis, at least we get the points in the games. We are still undefeated in La Liga, still undefeated in all competitions, and the start of the season has just been absolutely awesome. But from kickoff, Almeria had a good chance to get themselves a consolation goal, if nothing else. Dominguez finds Edgar. They play it inside towards Aziz. Aziz finds Verza, who shoots, but De Gea makes a really good save to preserve his clean sheet. And it was how the game would finish. Racing Santander 3, Almeria 0. So another good result, another win notched up for us in La Liga. And the start of the season, which has just been absolutely fantastic, continues here with another solid result and another really good performance. But that is going to end the episode, guys. So as always, a big thank you for watching the video. I really do hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode of Club and Country, then please do leave a like. That is much appreciated. And of course, it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Club and Country very soon.